Hello, great people. Welcome back to Global Happenings. Today, we're so excited to have you again. Today was the D-Day for the trial of Nnamdi Kanu. Most of his supporters are not actually happy because of the fact that his bail application has been turned down. We are hopeful that as they are appealing, that it will be reconsidered. But right now, a particular group have sent a strong message to Justice Nyako over the issue of Buhari interference in Nnamdi Kanu's trial. Don't forget, some few days ago, when Buhari met with Boris Johnson, the UK Prime Minister, he said something about Nnamdi Kanu's trial, that there is nothing like bail for him, owing to the fact, according to him, that he actually jumped bail before now, which the MNK lawyer came out to disabuse the mind of Boris Johnson in respect to that. But then let's look at the full details of what they have to tell Nyako to tell Buhari. But according to the news, Human Rights Writers Association of Nigeria, Huriwa, has expressed disappointment and utter dissatisfaction with the refusal of the presiding judge of the Federal High Court, Abuja Division, Justice Binta Nyako, to grant bail to the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, Nnamdi Kanu. Of more concern for Huriwa is that President Muhammadu Buhari had a few days ago said Kanu would not be granted bail, and Huriwa said it is now looking like the executive versus judicial gang up against the defendants. Huriwa said, as a civil rights body, it is dismayed that the honorable judge of the Federal High Court did not even make reference to that extrajudicial comment by Buhari that the first defendant in a suit between the federal government and a citizen would not be granted bail. The group said that the court has proceeded to do exactly as stated by President Buhari, as if to say that the judiciary is subservient to the executive arm of the government. However, in appealing to the judiciary to safeguard her independence to avoid encouraging Nigerians to resort to self-help measures if they perceive that the judiciary does the bidding and execute the script authored by politicians in the office of President Muhammadu Buhari. However, in a media statement signed by Emmanuel Nwobiko, its national coordinator, said it was disturbing that President Buhari, who instituted the matter against Kanu and his organization, seems to be adopting underhand tactics to cajole the judiciary to do her bidding, as against the clear provision of the Constitution on separation of power as provided for in Section 4, 5, and 6 of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria of 1999 as amended. Besides, Horiwa said it is unclear why a citizen would spend a year in prison while undergoing trial for charges that the federal government has not adduced irrefutable proofs, but they are top government officials who looted public treasury to the tune of nearly 200 billion naira and are on bail. Huriwa recalled that the detained Nnamdi Kanu, currently facing a 7-count charge, had in the application he filed through his team of lawyers led by Chief Mike Ezeome, senior advocate of Nigeria, equally challenged the revocation of the bail the court earlier granted to him. Huriwa said although it is not in her place to determine for the presiding judge how to discharge her constitutional obligation, but the right group said the unfair treatment of Nnamdi Kanu because of where he comes from is against Section 42, subsection 1 of the Constitution, which absolutely makes discrimination unacceptable and unlawful. The right groups bemoan the fact that 4 days ago in faraway Rwanda, President Muhammadu Buhari was quoted as ruling out the bail option for Nnamdi Kanu, the detained leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB. The president said Kanu's continued detention is an opportunity for him to justify all the uncomplimentary things said against Nigeria while he was in Britain. Wari said this he had a bilateral meeting with the British Prime Minister Boris Johnson on the margin of the 26th Commonwealth Head of Government meeting in Kigali, Rwanda. The president said the federal government may not grant the IPOB leader such a privilege anymore, considering the fact that he has jumped bail earlier. Huriwa said the extra-legal attempt by Buhari to coerce the judiciary to do the bidding of his whims and caprices shows that indeed Nigeria is not just a banana republic, but a full dictatorship. Huriwa said the judiciary under Section 6 enjoined the judicial power of the state, just as the right group said under Section 36 of Section 5 that every accused person is deemed to be innocent in the eyes of the law until proven otherwise. Huriwa urged Justice Binta Nyako to issue a gag order banning Buhari and his aides from interfering in a matter pending before her court, unless what we are being told is that President Muhammadu Buhari is now the chief judge of the Federal High Court. Quite interesting here. This has triggered a lot of reactions from Nigerians. But first of all, let's just look at some of the issues that have been raised by the Human Rights Association of Nigeria, Huriwa. Now, first of all, they are expressing dissatisfaction over the issue of, trashing the bail application of Nnamdi Kanu. He's been around in prison for too long. Most people have not even stayed at it. The latest was the case of, the Accountant General of the Federation, where we watched him being arrested over a very serious issue like, misappropriation of fund. And before we say who goes there, he was released. The same thing went for even Okorocha when he was being arrested by EFCC and they gave him a bail condition. He met it and he was released. But that of Nnamdi Kanu is becoming questionable because he's staying for too long. The president gave a reason which, according to Huriwa, is not really obtainable. What the president said was that he needs to stay back in the country and answer to some of the things that he had said when he was far away in Britain. But if he's going to stay back in Nigeria and answer, he can still be going back from the house. You understand? So right now, the situation is far beyond human comprehension. At least, even if they want to say anything, maybe that is out of place, or maybe take a decision because they do not want him to leave town or something like, why not tell him like Sowore to stay within the confines of Abuja? You understand? Stay in Abuja and you seize maybe his passport and all of that away from him. And don't go to South, it's just stay in Abuja until the trial is over. It will make a great deal of sense. I don't know why they're keeping him. Maybe fear of him leaving, but I can still remember that his lawyer, Aloy Dimako, took out time to explain why him, that's Nnamdi Kanu, had to take a walk out of the country because his life was seriously being threatened. At the point we heard what happened in Afaruku, which almost led to him losing his life and all of that. So right now, Huriwa is saying they do not like the way things are going and the interference of the executive in something that strictly belongs to the law. Now, before now, President Muhammadu Buhari has been talking about the case of Nnamdi Kanu. This is not the first time he's talking about it. But then, as at that time, he will always tell you, let him face the law court. He doesn't have a hand there. If at the end of the day, the court says that he should be freed, we will abide by the outcome of the court and all of that. But this time around, the whole story is different, especially the last time that he spoke about it. So Huriwa is sending a message. I don't know what Justice Nyako will do, being that they have ignited such a fact to him. We are yet to know what will be her standpoint. But that's where we would like to leave it. Go to our comment section.